Regardless of who you are or what you identify as, I'm sure you've had to grapple with the concept of masculinity. Everybody has to think about it at some point, especially in today's political climate and with how pervasive alpha male-centric content is on the internet. With that context in mind, though, I think it's a perfect time to talk about it. To be entirely honest, I've never really cared about manliness and thought it was kind of silly. As I've gotten older, though, I've realized that there can be a lot of value in it, particularly the support and socialization that many men find in these communities that they don't find elsewhere. However, that doesn't mean there aren't any problems with them, and there's a lot. A lot of what I see promoted as masculinity now seems to be mostly performative, merely seeking the approval or respect of other men. At a time where masculinity seems to be dumbed down to how strong you are and how early you wake up to sit in front of a computer and trade stocks, I think it's valuable to look at positive and inclusive ideals of masculinity. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a series that gets a lot of attention for its character designs. Early characters follow a design philosophy similar to Fist of the North Star, with some truly outrageous muscles. As the series progresses, and we meet new members of the Joestar family, the character designs shift into more androgynous territory, and finally in Part 6, we get our first female primary protagonist. I'm pretty sure it's these later parts that has generally influenced the view of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure as being gay, quote-unquote. Many of the later characters in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure certainly present as more androgynous or effeminate than before, but none of them are treated as any less manly than anyone else. That's the main reason that I think JoJo's is such a great depiction of positive masculine ideals, even when blended with more stereotypically feminine aesthetics. Like I mentioned before, it seems like most of what we think of as manliness now is performative, and doesn't really serve any purpose other than giving young men a sense of superiority in a community to draw them in. The ideal that is shown throughout all of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is one of conviction, people gaining strength to fight for what they believe in, to protect those who can't protect themselves. They have an unbreakable resolve, one forged in the fire of their experiences, both good and bad. I think that is a far healthier ideal to pursue than whatever is going on in the manosphere. Of course, I'm aware of the fact that JoJo's isn't about manliness. It's about humanity. Across the different parts of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, we see a lot of different people with different sexualities, gender identities, and backgrounds. However, what unifies our protagonists is an inviolable fighting spirit, driving them to do good, to protect and lift others up. And so, though I still don't care all that much for the idea of a masculine ideal in general, I still think positive role models are important. I think it's good to have something to strive for, even if we can't be as perfect or driven as a fictional character. I'd much prefer to fall short of being like Giorno than even ever trying to be like Andrew Tate. So that's all I have to say about that. Don't fall for the grift being sold to you from all angles, and just try to be the best version of yourself you can be. There are lots of positive role models out there if you just take a moment to look for them. Strive to help the people around you and support people who need it in your local community. You might not be able to fight Dio, but you can still make more of a difference in the world than you think. Masculinity is what you decide to make of it. This is a little bit outside of my comfort zone in terms of videos that I'm making, and I know we didn't talk a ton about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but it's one of those series that really made me think about the ideals that we have in our own lives. It's kind of like Persona in that way. It really makes me confront a lot of what I think about the world. I think there's a lot of value to be found in books and video games and anime and TV shows, far more than just the entertainment value that we put into them. Not all media is that way, but I think if you're thinking about it, there is always something positive that you can take from a piece of fiction. And I think it's a good exercise to constantly be confronting your own worldview with the new things that you learn and the different media that you partake in. Of course, it might sound a little bit goofy, but it's something that I have really benefited from across my life. That's all I've got for you folks today. I hope to see you back in 2 weeks with my next video, but for now, I hope you have a great one.